He talks about that everything that ever has existed or will exist began in the imagination of someone. That includes you. Before God created anything, he thought about it. In fact, our nation's capital began in the mind of Pierre Charles L'Enfant. He was a French engineer who became an urban planner. You see, he was commissioned by George Washington to lay out the nation's capital. He laid out all the roads and where all the government buildings would be placed. It was conceived in his imagination, but it was transferred to a 20-ounce piece of paper that is now protected in the Library of Congress. Everything existed, or everything exists, including you, originated in the mind or the imagination of God. It was a thought before it became a thing. You were a thought before you became a human being. In fact, 2 Corinthians 10:15 says, take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Now, when we read that, we kind of go to the negative side that we're to capture our stinking thinking and get rid of it. But what if you captured the God ideas, the great ideas? What if you captured those and chewed on those and leaned into those? Could God not do immeasurably more than what you would ever dream? Well, when you have a God idea, you take it captive. How do you do that? Well, for L'Enfant, it was a blueprint. It was a 20-ounce piece of paper blueprint. For a football coach, it's a game plan. For a musician, it's a musical score. For a chef, it's a recipe. For a teacher, it's a lesson plan. I mean, you probably get the idea by now, but before anything existed, God imagined it. He thought about it. And then he spoke it into existence. And then he picked up some dirt and he created you. Well, God made certain provisions in what he created. He made certain provisions in what he created. You see, God commanded the Red Sea to split. He commanded the sun to stand still for Joshua. He commanded the ravens to feed Elijah. He commanded a fish to spit Jonah out. He commanded that the fire would not touch Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And he commanded the lions not to touch Daniel. And he commanded death not to stop his own son. I mean, everything began in the mind of God. Remember Mr. L'Enfant? Well, Mr. L'Enfant, it had the idea, and it's one thing to have an idea. It's a completely another thing to turn that idea into a reality. It took a lot of concrete, steel, millions of dollars in blood, sweat, and tears to lay out Washington, D.C. What's the good news? God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. That comes from Ephesians 3:20. God has a vision for your life, and that vision is bigger and better than yours. Do you believe that? I mean, do you really believe that? I pray that you do. If you show me the size of your dream, I will quickly show you the size of your God. Dream big and work hard. Man, God bless you. If you enjoyed this, share it with someone. If you don't have a church to worship at Sunday, encourage you to come worship with us at Meadowbrook Baptist Church. 9:45 and 11 o'clock are our worship times. I would absolutely love to see you. God bless you. Have a great, great day.